What's up, guys? Welcome to my Thor build. I have put in probably 50, 60, maybe even more hours into going through a bunch of different gear, messing with the ratings and the stats and the gear perks, and this is what I have found to be the best for me. And if anybody is struggling or wondering how to build Thor, then this may be it for you. I'm going to go over the stats first. So I focused on four stats: might, proficiency, valor, and intensity. My melee damage is 1,344, critical chance 26%, perk chance 25%, heroic effectiveness 6,800, critical damage 297%, and then the reason I even bothered with intensity is the stun status meter damage, which is almost 39%. Thor has a very high stun damage on a lot of his abilities, especially his signature abilities, and so I kind of wanted to bump that up a little bit. And then the charge rates here 13.5%, 4%, 4%. Not great, but we have ways around it. So, just a couple gear things here. Not every single one of these pieces is all that great necessarily, but there are a few perks that I think really make this work. So on this one, the heavyweight spark, 14.5% chance heavy combo finishers grant a heroic charge burst for all heroics. Spamming that heavy combo is very, very important. The more you do it, the higher the chance you get to get a charge burst for all of your heroics. And then the 135% increased critical attack damage from ODINFORCE attacks. This build focuses a lot on basically three things: using his ODINFORCE attacks sparingly, trying to be overcharged as much as possible, and then using his abilities because they do quite a bit of damage. And then I want to go to... Oh, okay, I guess these are right. So the two on here, 54% chance hitting an enemy with a ranged critical attack grants a defensive buff, and then 56% chance defeating an enemy with a ranged critical attack grants a damage buff. Basically, with this, I just use his ranged attacks, try to get at least one of these to proc, and then it makes life a lot easier. And then on this last, this belt, increase all damage dealt while overcharged by 20%, and then increase the amount of shock damage dealt with any attack by 24%. These two, along with the 135% critical attack damage from ODINFORCE, these are the most important of this build. This is why this works, and I'll delve into the skills real quick so that you can understand why the overcharge damage, the shock damage, and the ODINFORCE attacks are so good. Also, the artifacts, 9% charge rate for heroic ability. Yeah, whatever. That one has really nothing. So, in the skills, I'm going to go over each one here. So for the support heroic ability, I have Ymir's Wrath. Nearby teammates receive a temporary damage boost of 25% when Warrior's Fury is activated. Hell's Anger. Increased critical damage by 25% and critical attack chance by 10% of anyone affected by Warrior's Fury. Honestly, Warrior's Fury is probably my favorite of his abilities. You basically are unkillable, and you are just doing a ton of damage, and it also helps your teammates out too, which, whenever you're playing with bots, is pretty helpful. So his assault heroic abilities, I have the Son of the Elder Gods. God Blast Whirlwind inflicts 20% more damage and applies cryo damage to targets caught in the swirling vortexes. So basically, whenever I use this, and I didn't, it took me a long time to figure this out, but if you hold down the the key or the button for his assault heroic, uh, it makes it last longer, so the whirlwinds will keep pushing people up and it will keep doing damage. If you hold it down the entire time and then you just let the animation finish, the people that are affected by the whirlwinds are basically just floating in the air frozen. And so it makes it really easy to clear rooms or focus on one person or whatever. This ability is great. The other one is God Blast inflicts 20% increased damage when triggered while overcharged. I try my hardest, especially trying to focus on overcharge and boosting that damage, to only use this if I'm overcharged, because it just makes it that much better. Now the ultimate heroic ability, Muspelheim's Torment, basically just leaves a burning circle wherever you land, and I'll show some gameplay here in a second, and you'll see how much damage that does to just everybody in there. It's great to kind of knock down the people you aren't focusing on. Then the other one is automatically activate ODINFORCE Overcharge when returning from the Bifrost. I know a lot of people like to use the recover 50% willpower, but since we're going for overcharge damage, if I can just come right out of the Bifrost with the fire already down and I'm overcharged, I mean, what could go wrong there, right? Now the Mastery skill tree. Increase melee stun damage by 15%. Like I said, Thor has a high stun damage built into him already, so this just makes his melee even better. Increases damage from combo finishers by 25%. Self-explanatory, really. And then performing a takedown spawns a heroic orb. This is very important, especially since I don't have very high cooldowns. I need to be able to get those abilities back up, and this is the best way, for the way that I have him built, to do that. Every takedown, you get a heroic orb. Pretty simple. His ranged, didn't really focus on this too much, so I have Impact Explosion on this one. It just kind of hits people with lightning whenever you charge up his hammer and throw it. Then I have High Velocity, increases hammer throw and recall speed by 15%. This just makes it easier to, or I guess it makes it faster, really, to try to get those defensive and damage buffs that I was talking about on that piece of gear. This just makes that easier. And then Charge Flight generates an electrical charge that is dispersed in an energy explosion on impact. Now, these two trees are the most important right here. Intrinsic ability. Also, if you remember, I do 24% more damage when I inflict shock on people. So, this ability right here, whenever I land, does 24% more damage. This right here, when I throw it and people are hit by that lightning, it does 24% more damage. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. So, on the intrinsic ability, Ionic Bolts. Defeating enemies while ODINFORCE is active, strikes nearby targets with lightning. Like I said, it goes right into that, that gear perk that I just was talking about. Maximum Force increases the maximum amount of intrinsic ODINFORCE energy by 15%. This just allows me to have more ODINFORCE, more opportunities to get that 20% damage using ODINFORCE abilities and the critical damage, all that good stuff. And then this one, Surging Force, increases the automatic regeneration speed of the ODINFORCE energy by 12%. So I wanted to have more ODINFORCE, but then I also wanted it to regenerate as fast as possible too. So these two right here are very important. Now the Overcharge. Lightning Field. When overcharged, surrounding enemies will be intermittently struck by lightning. Again, 24% more damage with that. On top of 20% more damage while overcharged on that same piece of gear. And then Charge Resistance increases damage resistant resistance by 50% when ODINFORCE is overcharged. This is very important. If you can look at my defensive rating, it's 771. That is awful. I'm basically I am a glass cannon, but I am a one-shot from basically anything. Even the weakest dude can just hit me in the back of the head and I'm dead. So this is very, very, very important, and it has saved my life many times. And then lastly, damage force increases all damage by another 15% when ODINFORCE is overcharged. So 15%, and what did I say? Over here, another 20%, so 35% more damage dealt while I'm overcharged. On top of the 24% shock damage. That's awesome. So, I'm going to show you guys some gameplay. I'm going to show you how I mix in the ODINFORCE. So you can either, while it's overcharged, you'll just be doing damage and everything. But then, on some of his abilities, if you activate the ODINFORCE ability, then it will drain the meter. And I don't necessarily want to drain the meter, because then it makes it harder to be overcharged. So I want to try to sparingly use the ODINFORCE effectively, and whenever I feel like it's the most important time to get that extra damage and the extra critical damage, like this, 135% from ODINFORCE attacks. So, enough of all this. Let me show you some gameplay. Alright, so this is gameplay from either the desert or the forest hive. I don't remember which one. It's an elite hive. It's on challenge 4, so the enemies are 164 power, I believe. So yeah, let's see how this build does. So right here, I'm letting it overcharge, letting that do its damage. Also, I hate these spinning robots. They are awful. So right here, I used the God Bless, even though I wasn't overcharged, but as you can see, it clears the room extremely easily. Then I can just pick off the guys that are basically almost dead, get that stupid pink drone out of here. So then right here, using the Bifrost, I'm gonna get overcharge, and it's gonna be damaging all these people as well. And then with the overcharge, just completely destroying people. And then everybody else I'm not attacking is just getting burnt. As you can see right here, all of those red numbers are the burn damage. I'm still overcharged this whole time. Obviously getting the takedowns, like I was saying, to get those orbs. Now it's just the Dreadbots. These stupid Blitz Dreadbots. So right here, I'm trying to get the damage and the defensive buff to proc, which I did. And then I just kind of kept doing it because I didn't realize that I already had it, but you get the idea. And then right here, I'm actually holding down the ODINFORCE. Then the Warrior's Fury gets a little hectic here. And then right here, I'm sitting here waiting for the bot to come join me. And he's like stuck on the leg, so you know, whatever. So I just gotta move on. Also, I'm pretty sure that other Dreadbot over there, the bots get the double team takedown on him, but whenever I need it, they don't show up. You know, it's fine. I'm not upset about it or anything. Finish him off, get the defensive buff also off of that. Collect all the heroic orbs. Come back over here. And then I get my takedown stolen, which is fine. You know, whatever. So, you got to see how much damage. I mean, Thor's abilities is crazy AoE. all of them. Like, Warrior's Fury is just like shooting people with lightning all over the place. His Bifrost, you can have the fire ring when you land. And then obviously his God Blast can basically clear an entire room if you use it right. I mean, I honestly haven't put much time into any of the other characters because I'm trying to perfect Thor. I feel like I'm almost there. There's still a couple, you know, gear perks that I would like to have. So right here, just easy clear of the room. I come out overcharged. Then I can take out all these dumb drones. And like I said, the 50% damage resistance when overcharged. I don't have to worry about my defensive rating being so low. That's why I try to focus on the overcharge so much, is so then I can be able to absorb more damage. Now this right here, I love this room.
Every member of the elite team must be defeated.
This really shows off this build right here. So I try to... That was probably an awful way to use that. They're all shielded. That's not going to do much of anything besides get rid of their shields, which I guess is fine. Then I try to get behind them, hit some ODINFORCE attacks, like right there, and then I can start picking away at these guys, getting the takedowns, getting the heroic orbs. And these are level, or power level 164. And then right here, I saw that I wasn't going to be able to dodge that in time, so I popped the Warrior's Fury. Basically, like I said, unkillable. I'm taking no damage from anything. Lightning constantly hitting this dude. Overcharged like crazy.
Well done. That squad member has been...
When you focus on ODINFORCE and being overcharged, I mean, you are insane. Also, these drones are the bane of my existence. Comment if they are yours as well, along with those spinny robots. Those guys right there, I can't stand them. That's why I had to break his back right here. Boom.
Another enemy defeated.
Alright, and there's just one guy left. Had to break his back too. And boom. There you go. So, that was 2 floors of going through 164 power enemies. Dreadbots, spinning robots, drones. Almost everything was there. The adaptoids, all of it. Let me know what you guys think of this build. Let me know how you build your Thor, if you have started it, or if you've done it, or if he's your main. Let me know what you have found to be the most successful to you. And yeah, I think I'm working on Black Widow right now, so I should have her build video coming pretty soon. I'm not gonna put as much time into her as I did with Thor, just because I want to main Thor, and so I want to get him all figured out the best I can first. So yeah, Black Widow coming up next. Just give me some time to get her build up and, you know, figure out what I'm doing with her. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you all in the next video.